Goncalves home to get butt naked and show that they didn't
Yeah.
have nothing to do with that, which they say, I'm sorry to say, people don't like me for this, but Steve Goncalves said that Jack Decor went the same day of the occurrence to his home to get butt naked in front of him. But indeed, the mom, Goncalves' mom, admitted that that was not accurate. He went the next day. So when you see a little inconsistency there, I know the emotions take a toll on family members, and sometimes it's hard to react proper, and sometimes you're just gonna say things just because you're in shock, and you're just trying to at the moment just say whatever it comes to your head, just giving them a little leeway there. But
I couldn't imagine.
when you see
Can't
a little
imagine.
inconsistency as far as the information provider from the family of one of the victims, then we have to rate just a little red flag, just a little, not a big one, but just a little red flag far as let's dig in a little bit what's really going on here. Because if we cannot rely on that statement that Jack Decor was at his home and he physically cleared that he didn't have no marks and nothing on his body, and then Goncalves' mom said on the cold turkey show, I'm sorry, the drunk turkey show said that that was not accurate, that was the day after. Then we have to just step back
Yeah.
real quick from that information and be like, let's just leave that alone. Let's just look around that and not go by that, because then we could compromise our own information. That's
Yeah,
just my
well, what
personal
I think
opinion.
was said around that at the beginning with Chronicles of Olivia was that Jack Decor came over the next day and they made him show that his arms and back and making sure he didn't have any bruises or anything. I haven't heard anything after that to where it was one person said one thing, another person says different. Like I said, I work a lot. I don't see every piece of content that comes out. I didn't watch a bunch of it with Kaylee's
Yeah.
family because they're not being told information. And I'm trying, I try my best to catch any relevant information about the case. But when it comes to the gossip around the case of what this person said about this person or that, I don't catch all of that because, I'm working like 70 hours a week
And I
lately.
and I know and I know you, brother. Like you are very delicate with information that cannot be confirmed. Like I know that you trying to keep it crystal clean. And you're not gonna interact with rumors. Like you rather to have more accurate information that you could rely on. And I know you don't like to go by rumors. Me neither. Like I got to the point that I had to step back from a lot of information that was coming to my way, and I had to step back from that information, and I needed to do my own homework a little bit more meticulously. And again, it's all due to public information, because we really
Right.
don't have
Yeah.
like the intricacy of the inner works of the case, so we could only go by whatever is being shared by, I guess, the social media, news stations, and whatever
Yeah.
we get here in YouTube and stuff. I do my reach out again. I did reach out twice to Moscow PD, and I did have conversation with them the first time, long time ago, before Kohberger got arrested, and then after he got arrested, I called again to have a conversation with Captain Dillinger, and I was making just emphasis and reinforcing some information that we had already in hand, and I wanted them to at least uh, double check on this one particular information that we have, and he told me that again. He told me, Jrod, I cannot tell you about that, and I was like, but at least as long as you acknowledge,
Ah, what the You are nothing.
for me that's enough. That you
Yeah.
acknowledge that this particular information is available, and if you could look into that, like I told him, if you could look into that and just, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but at least I wanted to make sure that I enforce that side of my information, and they appreciate it. Like again, big shout out to Moscow PD. I don't have not one bad experience talking to them, not one. Because
Right.
again, last time I called to talk to Chief Fry, and the Chief Fry was not available, and they passed me with a captain. They could have passed me with a sergeant. They could have passed me with any peon from underneath, but they passed me with a captain, which I appreciate, giving me a little bit of time to just refresh whatever information we have spoken before.
Yeah, I'm not against talking about the rumors that's going on, right? That is part of what I do. I'm not against talking about rumors, but only just unsubstantiated rumors. Like I don't like the rumors that nobody knows where they came from, and there's nobody standing up speaking about it or saying anything about it. And it's just, like when it comes to all the Payne stuff, Officer Payne, with certain things about him has been said that there's no record to show, and there's nobody coming out to say it. So rumors like that I'll stay away from. But if somebody is coming forward, like the Drunk Turkey Show has people sometimes that call in and they're locals and they're telling about this or that, you got to take all that with a grain of salt, right? And T-Rev's channel has people call in and say stuff. And if you're from that area and you're talking about it, if you're from that area and you're talking about it, I want to hear it.
I was like this with T-Rev like 5 to 6 months ago. We was like this, but big shout out to him though. I wish him nothing but the best, and he's having a great career in YouTube right now. So he's no hate from our part. He's doing great.
See, I like T-Rev. I like a few. I venture my tentacles are in all of the channels, right? Don't agree or we don't agree in certain ways, this and that. It doesn't mean that we can't venture across the territories. And because you go to somebody's, I was watching somebody last night that honestly I can't really stand. So information, there's always something to be learned and gained. And it's nothing personal or anything like that. We learn from going into places that make us not necessarily feel comfortable. And trust me, I've never been in chat in this person's channel, so you don't know who I'm talking about. It's somebody that I just discovered, recently. So,
Southern, do you like me to answer the chat on the night shift?
What about the knife sheath?
I think that I just seen someone in the chat that they had like they wanted to know something about the knife sheath.
I mean, the knife sheath, it had touched DNA on it. It's a minuscule amount of DNA. It wasn't found by the first people, but it was found by the second lab that it was sent to put it was found, but it couldn't put a profile together at the second lab, and it is a match to Bryan Kohberger. But I will say that I have had a lot of emails back and forth with people about the octillion whatever and the method of testing for it. I don't know anything about that. I get down with conspiracies too, right? If a conspiracy makes sense, if I see it, if it seems logical and like it could be real to me, I'm game for a conspiracy. They're fun, right? And if you could prove it, then great. But I have a hard time believing that they're planting the knife sheath and planting his DNA when he has no reason to be involved, and they just randomly pick this random person who happened to be driving through the neighborhood that night and plant their DNA or something. Maybe there's more to that touch DNA. Maybe that's not from that night, right? Because touch DNA doesn't tell when he touched that knife sheath. It could have been at any point in time in history, but it was the only DNA found on the knife sheath. It was there. I think it's going to be something that he's going to have to defend himself against in court and give, if he's going to tell the jury that that's not his, that he didn't have anything to do with that, they're going to have an alternate explanation for how it got there. And at the end of the day, his DNA being at the crime scene underneath one of the victims, it looks bad.
Well, certain facts that we know. We do know that the sheath was not found by the initial two officers. It was found 4 hours later by Corporal Brett Payne at the time. And then at the end of the month, Brett Payne flew out to Pennsylvania to be the first one to interview